Hello everyone, this is Dr. Zach. So today we're going to use the characteristics of our functions so that we can create their graphs. We're also going to begin reviewing for your Unit 5 test. So once you've completed your lesson preview, hopefully you noticed that you had a relative max, a relative min, and an inflection point given to you within the table of information. And when you draw your picture, it's just a nice little polynomial expression. So given the clues, you can draw your expression. Make certain that you put the points in that were given to you. And if you have an inflection point, label it IP. All right, draw carefully, draw neatly. Today, we're going to be using these characteristics of our functions in order to graph the functions. So we're going to use number lines to help us organize the information. For our first problem, the graph of f of x is both concave up and increasing on negative infinity to 0. So if we draw our little number line, this is just to help organize the information. We'll place 0 in, and we're going to label f of x as concave up and increasing. On the right side of 0, we're told that the function is concave up and decreasing. So once again, concave up and decreasing. There we go. Draw a little sketch as to what concave up and increasing would look like. There's only one way to draw these pieces together. So if you're concave up, decreasing, one way to draw it. There we go. So for f of x, we're told that f at 0 is equal to 3. So we're going to place our point at 0, 3. Then we'll draw in those two sketches that we practiced, something concave up, and on the right side of f of x, we're going to have something concave up and decreasing. So there are variations, but don't get silly. Make certain that you don't give too much information. If you go back up, that would be marked incorrect because then your function started increasing. You don't have that information. So make certain you only draw what was given to you. For question 2, we have f of x once again, and it is concave up decreasing from negative infinity to 0. So once again, we'll draw a number line. We'll place f of x in here. What do we know? It is concave up and decreasing. And to the right of 0, we are concave down, and we're also increasing. So just draw a little sketch as to what that might look like. If you're concave up decreasing, we already know what that piece would be. If you're concave down increasing, that's what we would have. We're also told that f at 0 is equal to 1. So we're going to place that point in for 0, 1. And now let's draw. So we want something that is concave up decreasing to the left of our point, and then we want to be, this is awkward, concave down increasing. As awkward as it is, this is what we get, that nice little piece of our graph. So for question number 3, you're going to take the information and graph it. 4 is done the same way, and then you have the next page as well. So give these a try, and I will draw the answers for you. And remember, your answers might vary. So give these problem set a try, and then we will draw them together. So as you can see, for question number 3, the information you were given was excellent to tell where you were concave up, decreasing, concave down, increasing, and for the third part, you were concave up and increasing. Put all the pieces together. Now, as you're drawing, you should keep in mind where your relative mins are, your relative maxes, and your inflection points. So from the table of values, you should be able to get all that information. Number 4, you were given information once again about increasing, decreasing, and concavity. It was written in different notation, but you should be fluid in both types of notation. For this problem, you were told about f of x and where it was increasing, concave up, decreasing, concave down. Notice you have a relative max and an inflection point at f of 0 equals 3. Make certain that you give questions numbers 5 through 10 a try before you look at your answer set. The notation is different for each one, and it's giving you some valuable information. Draw a sign chart to help guide your graphing. All right, so take a look at number 5. Your problems could look just a little bit different. Keep an eye on when you were given a slope. For example, number 8, you were told the slope is 1/2. So do your best to draw something that has a slope of 1/2 through that point. Recognize when you have an inflection point, things are not vertical, when your second derivative is equal to 0. Now, when you're told that the derivative does not exist, recall that means that you either have a vertical tangent line or a corner. Same thing happened with number 10. They were very similar problems. All right, now it's time to prepare for your test. You have a lot of information on the test. Make certain you review your Rolle's theorem, mean value theorem, as well as L'Hopital's rule, and understand how the characteristics of your graph will enable you to create the functions described. I've given you a test review which contains multiple choice questions. These should be a good review for you to recognize what multiple choice will look like on your next test. Also, if you'll take a look on the last page, you have some answers. Review the answers that have been placed on the paper, and if you have any questions, make certain that you ask them. Your next assignment will be a test. It's time for you to prepare. Now it's time to practice and prepare for your test. So make certain that you do a great job. Let me know if you need any help. Have a great day.